Nerdbangers! It's Monday. On a very busy week for us Nerdbangers. It's going to be a juicy one, man. Real juicy. We've got Disney Plus Day coming later this week. We've got a bunch of crazy stories to work on today. A couple of cool videos for you. But on top of all of that, I definitely want to talk about Eternals. Box office. Are we happy? Are we happy? Do you guys remember in Pulp Fiction when he's looking at like the thing in the box and he's just staring at it? And Sam Jackson's like, "Are we happy?" And he's like, "Oh, we happy. We happy." Do you think Kevin Feige's happy with what happened in the box office over the weekend for DOS Eternals? I'm not sure. You know, honestly, it is a very interesting story. It's right down the middle, in my opinion. It's right down the middle as far as it's definitely not a huge disappointment. It's definitely not a flop, but it is certainly not what they were expecting. And we're going to get into all the details. We're going to talk about the numbers. We're going to talk about the rumors as far as what Marvel Studios might do with these characters now. And we're also going to break down what's happening on the Disney Plus Day. The schedule for Disney Plus Day Friday did officially come out. So we're going to break that down as well, because this Friday is going to be a massive, epic, just grand stream. We'll be starting at our regular time of 10:30 in the morning, but we don't have a schedule of what we're exactly going to do. We're going to break it down together, and it's going to be a long stream. It's going to be a long stream. I'm pulling into the tower. See you in a second. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the stream Monday morning here in Nerdvengers Tower. And yeah, as I said before, holy shit, Chet. It's going to be a big week. It's going to be a very juicy week. I'm excited to get into all of it with you. I think this is going to be a really interesting stream. As I said before, I think the box office here is interesting. I want to dig into the little things that are going on, talk about the good, talk about the bad, talk about sort of maybe new normal and stuff like that. It's going to be a pretty interesting discussion, and then we'll get into the stuff for Disney Plus Day as well. I also want to say we'll be buying some memes today off of the BBS website. If you have not gone to thedenofnerds.com, go over there, check it out, make an account. It is an awesome way to engage with the community and get a little crypto coin for hanging out on that website. And so we're going to be purchasing some memes later today. Get your memes on the meme board over there before the back half of the show. Also, check this out. Check this out before we get into the main story. That was exactly what Kevin Feige said when he looked at the box office numbers. Okay, so this little Gungan thing here, and then check this out. I wonder what he'll say. Groot, why is your head invisible? Groot, what the hell? Groot, why is your head invisible? It's like a interdimensional Groot. Yeah, these two little plushie toys are going to be on the Nerdcoin store later today. I'm going to drop these on the Nerdcoin store, so go to denofnerdslive.com to have access to the store and check out what's going on. All right, everybody. So, let's kind of start here. Let's start with a little poll, shall we? Do you think this was a good opening weekend for Eternals? See what you guys say. Boom. There she be. There she be. Let us know in the chit chat What do you guys make of it? What do you think is going on with the box office? I want to show you a thing or two. Oh. Okay, here we go. And also, what the heck's going on with this? There's a glitch in the Matrix. Hang on. There's a glitch in the Matrix. And Chet, what are you doing? Chet, I want to be bigger. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's check this out. Let's look at this together. Dodd says the reviews were horse shit. Yeah, no, look, we'll get into sort of what the fans think about the movie as well, because that's certainly an interesting part of the story. I guess maybe we could start there. So it has a B cinema score, okay? Because I think one of the things that we were all interested in, and we all have our own opinions, right? But it is worth noting that as far as the cinema score is concerned, and as far as the Rotten Tomatoes fan score is concerned, you might not think that those are low scores, but as far as Marvel goes, those are lower scores. So although the fans, when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, are, having a much more positive reaction than the critics, it is still worth noting that the movie has a lower score than you would usually suspect for a Marvel property. Same thing with that cinema score. That cinema score is a very interesting sort of analytic there. It's apparently one of the most accurate ways to see how fans feel about the movie coming out. And a B cinema score, especially for a Marvel movie, is relatively low. Now, what I've seen online as far as what people think about the movie, it's really interesting to me. It's divided, I would say. It's definitely divided. But I think the people that really like this movie, like there are some people that really like this movie, okay? So, what's been also kind of interesting, of course, is all of the Zack Snyder stuff that's going on with the movie because, Chloe sort of came out and said Zack Snyder's Man of Steel movie was a big inspiration for her personally, and especially when it came to the Icarus character. That's, a pretty big deal. I've also seen a lot of DC fans, especially within the Snyder camp, sort of coming out and really defending the movie. In fact, some people that I'm pretty, good friends with are saying things like, this is my favorite Marvel movie, okay? So, for me, the whole takeaway for Eternals is rather interesting. It is not what they wanted it to be. Like, let's just be real. This is not what Kevin Feige wanted it to be. Night Me Live, Geologist B. Welcome back to the Nerd Ventures. 1 month to go to your Amethyst badge. Just saw that pop up. Thank you so much. So, I've seen a lot of people sort of stoutly defending the film, but it's definitely not the reception that Marvel wanted it to be. And a lot of people like that I follow in the movie reviewing space, whether or not they are just YouTubers or, just sort of Twitter personalities, there's some people going super hard on the movie. And then there's people like, my good friend Paul from Heavy Spoilers that absolutely loved the movie. That's, a big defender of it. And Paul said something on Twitter that was something to the effect of like, I think it was they made a cult classic. And that could be because it seems like the people rallying around this movie are sort of cult-like, and that the movie itself will sort of have like a cult-like following, which is interesting to me. I don't know if we've ever seen anything like this in the MCU, because the other MCU movies that were, let's say less than stellar, right? They don't have a cult following. Like maybe Iron Man 3 has like a really small cult following from like Shane Black fans or something like that. But like you don't see people coming out being like, dude, Thor the Dark World was one of the greatest cinematic things I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Or like Iron Man 2 is freaking genius. Everybody's just wrong. You don't really see that with a lot of these other movies. So that's certainly a feather in the cap of the movie. But regardless, it's a really, really interesting story here. Steve Sarenka, thank you so much. 5 months says, happy Monday, Nerd Vengers. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Okay, so let's get into the numbers here. So, The movie grossed in its opening weekend domestic $71 million. $71 million. Okay? Mate, hit me up about the whitelist thing. I appreciate you, brother. It's your favorite movie? Damn, dog. That's great. That's cool to see, man. That's awesome. And yeah, hit me up on the Discord and I can whitelist you on the BBS. Okay, $71 million. Again, weird. Good, not great. You know, it is technically the lowest pandemic Marvel movie opening. Okay? Like, let's look at it. This is Black Widow. Which, by the way, the story of Black Widow is so interesting to me. The only Marvel movie that opened bigger than Black Widow, and we're talking domestically here. You know, we'll talk international as well, but really, I'm talking domestically for now. The only movie to open bigger than Black Widow was Venom. Like, check this out. Venom Let There Be Carnage opened at 90 millis, okay? Shang-Chi opened at 75. Okay, so if you count Venom as an MCU movie, which a lot of people do not, and it's a Sony movie, right? Then it's the highest grossing MCU movie of the year in its opening domestic weekend. If you don't count Venom, Black Widow remains the winner. Now, what's interesting about that? The thing that's really interesting about that, of course, is Black Widow opened day and date with a Disney Plus release. So this is what's so crazy to me, right? You have a situation in which Scarlett Johansson literally does a lawsuit with Disney for screwing her movie over for doing the day and date. It literally opened higher than the two like theatrical only releases that came out later in the year. Okay. Now, the big thing with Black Widow and with Scarlett Johansson, this is just my take, of course. It's more of a story of right time, right place, and also having some very, very big backup. You know, it was a big public ugly scorn on Disney at a time when they really did not want to do that. And then I really believe that the Russo brothers throwing their weight around and really, causing some tension over there and possibly even Feige or whatever, Disney folded on something that, as I sit back and look at this, I just don't even see how she won that lawsuit, right? Like, I would say I think the intrigue on Shang-Chi and Eternals was much higher than Black Widow. Like, people like Black Widow, but this was a movie that existed. It's like a prequel movie. The character's already dead. There's a lot of things that were working against that film, and yet it opens bigger in the United States than both Shang-Chi and Eternals. That's fascinating to me. You know what I mean? So basically what I'm saying is, like, good on you. Good on you, Black Widow. I'll peek at this one here. Stevie says, I think it's a bit unfair to compare Eternals to established characters' box office. More accurate compare would be Shang-Chi and that movie released on more screens. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fair opinion. I don't agree with it, but it's a fair opinion. I mean, we're talking about the Marvel brand. Eternals, is supposed to be a big, like, the marketing for Eternals was much stronger than the marketing for Black Widow. Like, they were trying to push it, especially attached to, like, here's the thing about Eternals. Just to sort of say why I disagree with Steve's point. Eternals was marketed as like a new chapter in the MCU in several different ways. Number one, it was supposed to be this sort of entry into a more artistic version of Marvel, a new, really director vision driven part of the story of storytelling. Okay, so that's sort of number one. Number two, of course, there's a lot of this is our new, strategy as far as diversity and handling some of these different issues, and they really stuck their flag into the ground with that. That is, in my opinion, at least partially a marketing thing. They're trying to go after a wider audience. Like, wouldn't you agree? Like, that's part of the idea of diversifying your cast, is to actually widen the net of the reach of the movie. Okay? And the other big reason that this movie was marketed as sort of a new take for the MCU is the fact that this was going to be the first real look at a recontextualizing of MCU lore. We were told this is going to change things, change the MCU forever. Many different people said it was, and you know, look, they always kind of say this, but Feige was pretty adamant about this being must-watch MCU content. And so I strongly feel that it's not only a good comparison, but that if you really think about it, Eternals might have really underperformed for at least what Marvel wanted. Okay, you can sit back and make your own opinions about how you think it did as a fan, for sure. But I would say, just, you know, from my business mind, I'm like, man, this is a pretty. I think this is pretty far away from what they wanted, from what they anticipated for the movie. Okay, so this is wild. We will have to see, guys, what the week 2 drop off is for it, because look, neither Black Widow, or rather neither Shang-Chi or Eternals will be going to China, right? So look, international 90 million, very impressive get in the international audience. We will see what that translates to over time. What will the drop off in week 2 be like for Eternals? I mean, look, unfortunately, I think it's going to be pretty significant. You know what I mean? Not just because every Marvel movie has had an incredibly significant drop off, but there's a lot working against that particular movie, right? So it's just wild. Like Venom, the highest grossing one, I mean, it's been dropping off, you know, like a sack of bricks. It'll probably get to like 450, maybe up to 460. I don't see it getting towards 500. You know what I mean? Shang-Chi, similar story. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really see it hitting $500 million. You know, Black Widow didn't even hit $400 million. Now, if you add in the extra $125 million from Disney Plus, you're looking at a $500 million thing. But I mean, like, isn't this interesting? There's so much going on here. You know, who knows for sure? We don't know. There's a lot of different factors. This has been a very tumultuous time for the box office. But I think the main thing to take away is that Eternals is not crushing it. I don't think anybody could come out and say, I think this thing's dominating it, it's crushing it, it's a massive hit, it's going to blow everybody away. I think it's divisive. I think the Marvel brand is still incredibly strong, which is why you have such a, you know, a nice 3-day gross. Not a great, but a pretty nice one. And we're just going to have to wait and see. But I anticipate this thing having way more trouble than Black Widow, Venom, and Shang-Chi. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be looking at like barely over $300 million as a total gross. Now, the next question, of course, is what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What are they going to do about this? Because they made a big play with this movie. It's supposed to have a lot to do with what's happening next. Are they going to do a sequel? I don't know. Are they going to do more Chloe Zhao? I don't know. It's an interesting inflection point. You know, I saw Grace Randolph make this point, and I think it is a point worth making. It is likely the case that Marvel Studios, with this sort of edict of Phase 4 here, they went after a director like Zhao. They went after a star like Simu. They made movies specifically to grow the international reach of the MCU, especially in the East. And what is so interesting about that is there is no way a Chloe Zhao movie will ever go to China. Like, ever. Simu Liu, it's very possible he'll never have a movie or a project ever go to China. Do you know what I'm saying? So, look, as far as I'm concerned as a fan, I say fuck them. I don't care about the Chinese box office. I'm like, I actually wish they would break away from that and break away from, you know, what they need. But as a business, it's not smart business to spend money, in some ways acquiring people and contracts as what you think is an asset and then understanding it's a huge liability. So there's a massive and complicated, conversation to be had over at Marvel Studios about what to do in this situation. You know what I mean? Now, look, let me just also say, because I feel the tension from Stormy, like he's going to pop into the tower, get up here and hit me in the gut or something. Let me explain this. Marvel's fine. Like, this in no way puts Marvel in a precarious situation. Their brand is really, really strong. And in fact, you could make the argument that releasing a divisive movie that was critically shat upon and still being able to do what it did in the opening weekend is just an testament to how strong the Marvel brand is. Marvel has a ton of absolutely incredible stuff coming. And in some ways, all of these movies, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, even Venom, but Eternals for sure, these are all movies that are out of time. These movies were supposed to come out last year, right? And if you think about it, all the buzz, all the hype, all the speculation, all the clickbait, what is it about? It's about Spider-Man's. You know what I'm saying? It's about Spider-Man's. It's about the multiverse. It's about what's happening next in the wider MCU. Fantastic Four rumors, mutant stuff, Black Panther 2, all this stuff. That's what the intrigue is. So there's just so much operating here that at the end of the day, I think Marvel is absolutely fine. And I think they will likely continue with a lot of these characters. I think they'll do the sequel. And I want to sort of now break into a little bit of rumorage here. Okay, so just being real. This is rumor, but it is coming from a good source. The people over at the Marvel Studios Spoilers subreddit are incredible at what they do, and they're really good at vetting information. Okay. One more sip. Hold up. That's nice. Here's what he says here. This is a scoop from the main middleman about Eternals. Kevin Feige is being very supportive of everyone, and he doesn't seem too worried about the situation. Eternals will indeed have its sequel, and Kevin Feige hopes that Chloe Zhao will return. She will decide. The only one who seems to be very unhappy about all of this is Chapek, and he doesn't think that he will interfere in this case. So let's just kind of stop there. According to this guy, Kevin Feige's Gucci. He's supportive of the situation. And I tend to believe that. You know what I mean? Like, look, I don't know Kevin, but I spent a couple hours on the phone with him last night, as I always do on Sundays, and he seems in good spirits. He's also just a really genuine, fun dude. He has a great sense of humor. You know what I mean? He's terrible at Apex Legends, but, good on the comms. So, all around good guy, Kevin Feige. It doesn't surprise me at all that he's being supportive of the whole team of everything. Again, it's not necessarily bad enough to really have a public stink about it to make it a big freaking deal. Like, anybody that says, like, the movie's bombing or, like, whatever, it's not. You know what I mean? It's just, it's right on a line that I do think is disappointing for what they wanted, but I don't think it's a bomb or anything like that, right? So, that's good. I guess we'll have to see what's going on with Zhao. And the thing about Chapek is, I mean, look, like, let me ask you. Let me just ask you guys this. Would you agree or disagree? Let me know in the chat. Agree or disagree? Would you agree that the beginning of Phase 4 is off to a shaky start? Yes or no? What do you think? We have WandaVision, we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we have Loki, as far as Disney Plus shows. 3 projects there. We have Black Widow, we have Shang-Chi, and we have Eternals. All out there in theaters. So you have 6 MCU projects. Some of you say no. Some of you say yes. I mean, I will tell you, this is, in my opinion here, this is a shaky start. There are a lot of reasons as to why this is a shaky start, okay? So they almost have, like, built-in excuses for why this is going down. And some of them are valid, right? I mean, the pandy's ridiculous. The pandy affected a lot of these shows, especially Falcon and the Winter Soldier, heavily, right? The pandy also pushed movies way longer than they should have been pushed. Perhaps caused some issues, you know, with those sort of things. The cultural atmosphere has changed. There's a lot of different things going on. So, in my opinion, yes, Phase 4 has started shaky. But these shows are still really successful in a lot of different ways. I mean, dude, WandaVision, it was a critically acclaimed show. It was massive. It was blowing up at a time when Disney Plus really needed that kind of traffic and that kind of social media footprint. So it did really well for them. Even Falcon and the Winter Soldier did well for them. Loki, huge hit. Okay? And then all of these movies, especially within this new sort of box office environment, still doing relatively good box office. You know, no real bombs. Sort of maybe a new look at what's normal for a blockbuster movie. So it's not the end of the world. So if you're like Chapeg and you're sitting back and you're looking at all this stuff, there's no like clear line to be drawn. You can't just say, like, you can't go up to Kevin Feige and be like, hey man, what changed? Because like a million fucking things changed. You know what I mean? You can't draw a straight line to like the creative choices Feige's making or to something he's trying to do or accomplish and the shaky start of the MCU. It is a fluid situation. So I don't think Chapek has like the license to come in and try to assert any authority here, because Marvel Studios is still the golden goose of Disney. Absolutely 100% the golden goose, and I think it will remain the golden goose for a long time to come. So what does this all mean? I think you're going to get your Eternal sequel. I think you're going to get Star Fox pretty freaking soon. As it says right here, he says, one thing I can assure you, Eternals directly implies future projects or future productions. You will see some characters again faster than you think. Not least that character in the golden and watermelon red suit. He'll have a special place in the MCU, okay? I believe they're talking about the character from the post-credit scene. We'll try to keep it spoiler-free here because not everybody has seen it, but y'all know who I'm talking about. That's really exciting. So that character playing a big deal faster than you might anticipate, pretty interesting to me. Maybe a Secret Invasion type thing. Maybe, you know, the Marvels. Who knows exactly? But that character likely to be a big deal for the MCU moving forward. This is really interesting right here. It says, no Eternal is dead forever. Okay. Slight spoilers here. Slight spoilers. There's a character in the movie. There are 2 Eternals that seemingly die in the film. Okay? Actually, there's 3. One of them is told to have signed a multiple contract with Marvel Studios. So one of them has signed a big contract, and I'm super confused about that because I'm like, that's really weird. Maybe they'll bring that character back. Interesting. You know, maybe this has to do with the World Forge, whatever. There's a different character that flies into the sun, seemingly to kill themselves. Okay? But here's what I was thinking about that, because we had a conversation about this, like Elisa and myself, right? And we're really interested in what that character's particular motivation could be, because it didn't make sense that character necessarily wanted to kill themselves, right? There's a moment in the movie where it is said that the Celestials grab up energy from planets and stuff to create the heat of a sun. Like, they create suns, stars, and galaxies by gathering up cosmic energy and sort of transmuting it into a sun. Okay? I think it's possible that that character is not trying to kill themselves, but is instead trying to absorb an incredible amount of celestial cosmic energy. Pretty interesting. Pretty freaking interesting. So that's kind of the dilly dally with Eternals. Again, just sort of recap. A really weird box office. Technically the lowest of the Marvel comic book movies opening of the year. Domestically, we'll see where it goes from here. Could be considered maybe a slight disappointment, but I don't actually think it's enough of a disappointment to warrant full stop, change the plans, remove these characters, etc., etc. I think you're going to get your sequel. I think they're going to play a big role moving forward because everything's still okay. Everything's fine. The movie's not so bad or so weird that it's going to divide Marvel fans and make them not want to watch Marvel movies going forward. Not even close. That's not what's happening. I think there's just a group of people out there that think this movie stinks. You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. But it doesn't break the lore. It doesn't break the continuity. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're okay. Okay, so calm your butts. Calm your butts down. Okay, so let's go into a sort of different discussion here. Then we will buy some memes on the BBS. Then I will make these plushies available on the NerdCoin store. And then we'll get into Q&A, okay? So I will go over all the Super Chats at the end of the stream, and I do appreciate everybody's support. Okay. I must sip more coffee. I must sip more coffee. Disney Plus Day. Put a 1 into the chat if you're going to be streaming along with us Friday, dude. Friday is going to be a massive stream, likely over 4 hours, maybe 5 hours. I don't know. Maybe 20 million hours. Maybe we'll start streaming on Friday, and I'll never stop, and it'll become the Truman Show in the tower, and I'll never stop streaming because they also are releasing all these different Marvel movies in IMAX, and I think we're just gonna sit there and watch shit in IMAX all night long. Look at that. Dude, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. That's just gonna be dope. Anyway, let's take a look at this. There's actually a better in fact, I might just go over here. Vengola Feame! Welcome back to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Trev says 0. I'm going to rewatch DC Fandom. Yeah, you and Stevie go have fun. Jeez. Friggin' guys. Okay. Check this out. On Friday, November 12th at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, fans can follow along with Disney Plus on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for first looks, new trailers, exclusive clips, and appearances from Disney Plus creators and stars for upcoming content from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic, and International Territory Star. What? Disney Plus subscribers will also be treated to an exclusive on-platform specials from Pixar Animated Studios premiering at 8 a.m. and from Marvel Studios premiering at 8:45 p.m. PT, and other surprise sneak peeks. Additional new and beloved fan-favorite content will make their Disney Plus streaming debut on November 12th. So a bunch of stuff is coming out for the first time. They're doing a Studios Legends for Shang-Chi, a Studios Legends for Hawkeye. So this is pretty freaking wild. So this is the sketch. Basically what they're saying is starting at 6 a.m., which is 9 a.m. for us, they will start dropping a bunch of stuff on their social media accounts. And throughout the day, they're going to drop stuff exclusive on Disney Plus. So the way I think this will kind of go, guys, is they'll have some stuff out the gate. We'll start streaming. We'll go over maybe some of the trailers and some of the first looks that they drop on Friday. Then they will likely be dropping like the Boba Fett stuff. Let's see here. Do they talk about it over here? Subscribers will first platform. New subscribers 70% discount that month. Yeah, so we just have like barely an idea of how this will all go down. But what my gut tells me is like they'll start doing some trailers and some stuff in the morning. You'll get a little, that Boba Fett thing will eventually drop. I think they'll do a big what's the future of Marvel Studios kind of thing. I'm not 100% sure on that. So throughout the day, we'll be watching these trailers, reacting to the trailers together, checking out the big announcements and seeing what that's all about. Then we'll watch the Boba Fett thing, that featurette, which I expect to be like a half hour, maybe up towards an hour at the most. And so there'll be a combo of like breakdowns, reactions, watch party stuff. So, have your Disney Plus ready to go, have your popcorn, have your water, have your coffee, and then starting at 10:30 in the morning, I think we'll start with some trailer reactions. We'll keep an eye on stuff. We'll watch the Boba Fett thing for sure. We'll watch some Marvel stuff for sure. And, I think it's going to be an incredible day. Man, what do I expect? I will say I expect a Kenobi teaser. I expect a sizzler reel for Book of Boba. I expect a sizzler reel for Mando Season 3. I expect a little bit of information dropping about... what the hell is the friggin' Sith? The Acolyte? Yeah, I expect some stuff for Acolyte. I expect a little sizzler reel for Andor. And that's a lot. You know what I mean? That's a lot for Star Wars, and that's on top of the Boba Fett thing, which I think they'll do. Also, the inquisitive among you might see something cool with a red lightsaber in the Kenobi trailer. Think about it. Just think about it for those inquisitive among you. I will say, I think when it comes to Marvel, I have less of an idea of what we'll get, but I expect some Moon Knight juice. You know what I mean? I expect some She-Hulk juice. I expect maybe a little bit of juice when it comes to Miss Marvel, although I'm frankly a little bit confused about that one and how that will all go down. I also expect big teases of huge things coming, like maybe Secret Invasion. I mean, the Secret Invasion show is a massive deal for them. Yeah. So some of that kind of stuff coming out for Marvel. And also, I mean, this is really, really cool. Let me see if I can pull this up. I think this is amazing. Look at these. There's big movies coming in the IMAX format on Disney Plus. And again, yes, I have to simp for Zack Snyder. So, all of you that cringe every time I simp for Zack Snyder, get your cringe ready. Get your fucking cringe ready. You don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, Zack Snyder was literally just talking about this the other day. People keep bugging him about the black bars in the format that he did for the Snyder Cut, right? People are like, dude, what's up with those black bars? He's like, this is ridiculous. You're okay with black bars on the bottom and top of your screen, but you're not okay with them on the side? I think movies should be showing IMAX format and all of the footage that's actually shot by these directors on the IMAX camera. Why isn't that on digital devices? It would make it look a little bit more like the Snyder Cut did in its format, because that's kind of what it is. It's actually bigger than IMAX. He shot crazy shit. There's so much in frame there that you're missing when they put it into the theaters. Well, now they're going to put on Disney Plus a ton of the Marvel movies that were shot on IMAX that have IMAX footage in IMAX format. Dude, that's going to be awesome. I am super excited to check that out, actually, and just have that experience. And so once again, Zack Snyder is the blueprint. I don't know what you want me to say. What do you want me to say? He's such a genius. He's so ahead of his time. I wonder if Chloe Zhao wants to restore the Snyder Cut. Of course she does. So shut your mouth when you're talking to me. You freaking buttholes. Okay. Now, let's buy some memes. Oh my God, I see a really funny one right away. All right, so check this out. I'm going to be checking out on the website, and I'm going to go to the meme board actually this time because everybody was yelling at me, and that meant that Elisa heard about it, and then she yelled at me. So, guys, if you don't know, we have converted our website, thedenofnerds.com, to a BBS website. It is a sort of forum where you can just participate in posting content, and it has a system that works off crypto and a blockchain so that the best content sort of wins each month. You get a little coin for visiting each day. You get a little coin for having engagement on your post. You can earn a little bit of coin. It's a pretty interesting concept. Go check it out. This is a funny meme. I'm buying it because I just like it. It doesn't even really make sense, but whatever. Dab Matt, well done. When everyone at work is in a bad mood except you. Hey, why not? Oh, you know what? You guys, how dare you guys know what kind of memes I like and have that? Yo, what? Infinity Pods, your music in a snap. I mean, dude, for the waves alone, that's getting bought. You know what I mean? That's getting bought for sure. Holy shit. Let's see here. Spider-Man 3, 2007. Peter Parker performs a finger gun gesture to the passerby. It's a reference to how Uncle Ben died with a gunshot. You know what? I'm gonna like it, but I'm not buying that one because you don't say that. Besides, I gotta throw you guys off a little bit. You know what I mean? When Josh says he went to film school. That's right, pie in your face. Holy shit! You guys are really running up these prices on me. God damn. Running them prices up, but how can I not buy this? This is absolutely incredible. 8 out of 10. I'm going to buy it before you guys get over there and run up the price. I'm buying this one. 10 out of 10, dude. No fucking way. Spider-Man and the Ottoman Empire. Let's go, dude. 10 out of 10. Incredible meme. When your family is broke as fuck and needs you to work. When your grandson finds a golden ticket to a chocolate... Dude, I gotta get it. I gotta pick that out. 9 out of 10. That's good. That's good. I know that face. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'd say 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Not gonna buy that one, though. This one's also pretty good. I like this one. It's not quite it's not like as creative as it should be. It's pretty good. 7.5 out of 10. Spider-Man trailer. I've seen this a million times. It's okay. It's like a 6 out of 10. It's not, what's this? Michael Scott on that Doctor Strange juice. What? I can't. It's too small. How come I can't? What? Look, I'm going to give it a like, but the image is too small to get into. Baby Yoda, the entire... Oh, yeah. This is a good one. It's not the most creative. I'll give it a 7 out of 10, but I like it, so I'm going to buy it. Holy mother loving love on mothers. When Josh needs to come up with a video idea, connective tissue secret wars. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. He's not unemployed. He's a Twitch streamer. Yo, let's go. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I'm picking that one up for sure. So that's why his mouth is red. That woman is on. Oh, no. Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. 7.5 out of 10. I'm Google, by the way. Meta. Oh, we're using our made-up names. That's pretty good. 7 out of 10. I'll pick it up, though. 7 out of 10. Batman, Joker, Two-Face. How beautiful is this? It's pretty good. Pretty good. Not the best. Oh, shit. That's how you escape this. Had some help? Dude, yes. Dude, yes. 9 out of 10. Boom. Picking it up. 9 out of 10. We'll do a couple more, and then we'll get out of here. This one made me laugh. 7 out of 10. Pick it up. Every little thing she does is magic. Oh, burn her. You know what? That's pretty creative. It's pretty creative. 7.5. That looks familiar. I don't get this one. When the frozen Celestial at the end of Eternals looks like a Xenoblade. Oh, is that what you're saying? Okay. I guess I just don't know all about that. That one's pretty good. I don't always break the multiverse, but when I do, it's for Dios niños. Dos niños. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Say hello to my little friends. Avocado. All right. All right. Good memes, guys. Good memes. So there you go. A little purchasing of some memes on my end. Shout out to everybody that's over there supporting the BBS. Having a good time over there. And check this out. Boom, boom, boom. And boom, 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 boom. Okay, officially up on the Nerdvenger store. The 2 plushies, 15,000 nerd coin apiece. Kevin Feige, what do you think of the opening weekend for Eternals? Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, now let's break it on into Q&A. I'll pull up all the super chats. We'll start getting into that kind of stuff. Appreciate you guys and the support. The best way to support this content and the channel is to become a Nerdvenger member. All of our content is essentially brought to you by the Nerdvengers, the beautiful people you see in chat with the badge next to their name. Incredible group of nerds. They help us keep the lights on over here. Consider joining the Nerdvengers today. We got some sweet merch coming in the back half of this year. You're going to get 20% off of our Teespring merch for being a Nerdvenger member. You get access to behind-the-scenes streams, including the one we will do today at 1 p.m. A ton of other benefits. It honestly just, it makes you feel better. You know what I mean? You get a little taller. You become more of a baller. You get better at video games. Your finances get aligned, you know? Golden tickets popping up all over the place. I mean, look, your results may vary, but it's said to reduce baldness. You know, an incredible amount of scientifically unbelievable things happen to you when you become a Nerdvenger member. So take the plunge, become a Nerdvenger member to freaking die. Okay, let's get into these super chats. I'm quite interested in what y'all have to say. I'm sure everybody just agrees with me, and everybody's just like, good point, Josh. Interesting point. I agree. Okay. First in today is Cosmic Reader with a $5 holler. Says, I feel like we should wait for the second and third weekend to see if Eternals is staying a franchise. I think that's fair, man. It's a fair take. We'll have to see what the next weekend is and the weekend after that. But I think regardless, you're going to get more Eternals. Like, this is a big play for them. They're not just going to take these characters away. Is it possible that they do kind of what they're doing with the Marvels, where instead of doing a direct sequel, they're going to try to do a sequel, but also throw in a lot of other stuff to take it in a new and interesting direction? It's possible. I mean, Kevin Feige's really good at this shit. You know what I mean? So, like, he's probably got a plan. He's probably got a backup plan. He's probably got a backup to his backup plan. So we'll just wait and see. But I agree that it's going to be incredibly interesting to see what the overall box office take of this movie is. 100%. Jesse Reed with a $5 says, Eternals is amazing. I've enjoyed most MCU movies and shows, but this was the first time I saw exactly the movie I hoped for. Zhao is my hero. Well, dude, good for you. That's an incredible experience to have, so I'm very glad that you had that experience. That's awesome. I will tell you that about 2/3 of the way through the movie, I was blown away. I was like, damn, this is absolutely incredible. The third act's pretty wonky for me, but I overall like the film. So I'm glad you had that kind of an experience. And when you get inspired by Zack Snyder, you end up making really good movies. I think that's the point. Thank you, Jesse. Trev says with a $5 holla, says, apparently Scarlett won it so Chapek could reset/redo contracts for a lot of Marvel actors and talent. Don't know the fallout of that yet. That's true. Yeah, so she won. They settled, right? But she essentially is getting paid. So yet to be determined how that will shake out for the future of talent. I think we're in an inflection period with entertainment in general, and that's why it's really hard to say what is the new normal? How are these movies doing? There's just too many variables, right? You would love to have a control. In an experiment, if you have one control, then you can really try to pinpoint down, is this causation or at least correlation? It's kind of difficult to do that with the world we live in right now. There's just so much going on. So I think that's a fair point, Trev. We'll have to see how that shakes out in the future. Austin Johnson with a $5 house says, yo, Josh, do you think Marvel will put a twist on Icarus and possibly bring him back as a cosmic character such as Silver Surfer? It is possible they do something like that. My thought process was maybe they'll bring him back and just make him super freaking powerful, crazy powerful. Maybe he did what he did, again, not to die, but to gain more power so that he could hopefully help Cersei, really, which seems to be the only thing he really cares about. So it's totally possible, man. I really like the Icarus character, so I hope we get more of him. We'll see. KRB 5263 with a $5 holla says, not seeing many people talk about this, but are we a tad disappointed that Eternals did not directly connect to X-Men like we thought? Yeah, it's funny. That is sort of lost in conversation. I would also tell you that, what happened with that Eternal at the end is likely going to tie into Wakanda Forever. Now, I have a big Wakanda Forever video coming out, hopefully later today, if not early tomorrow. Wild reports about Wakanda Forever. There's the Letitia Wright story and them delaying it, but there was also a massive scoop drop today about more or less a huge thing that will happen at the end of the movie that's going to explain things, I think, moving forward for us. There were a lot of reports that said Eternals will have a tie-in to Wakanda Forever. The only thing I can think of is the ocean at the end and earthquakes and stuff like that having to do with some destruction, and Namor probably is going to be pissed. Am I disappointed that we didn't get X-Men references? Well, because they changed the Eternals from what they were in the comics to what they are in the MCU, I'm not surprised that we didn't get the mutant thing. So, I don't know. Not really bugged by it, but it is different, 100%. So, appreciate the question. And then you followed up with, I feel something off too, but it's not a bad thing. I think the Disney Fox acquisition has caused them to make many changes. Yeah, there's a lot of changes going on right now. And that's why I kind of said, I definitely think it's a shaky start. But, look around, dude. Look at all these other studios. Look at all these other they're still doing wildly better than a lot of other studios, companies, IP, etc., etc. Things are just changing. And by the way, the MCU does not have this perfect, flawless. It's not like we went through 10 years of slam hits over and over again. In fact, I would argue the MCU really only hit sort of a flawless victory vibe a couple of years, maybe 3 or 4 years before Infinity War and Endgame. And then they did absolutely nail a huge part 2 epic story that sort of tied together 10 years of connective films. So kudos to them. But if you think even into parts of phase 3, parts of phase 2, even parts of phase 1, and you're like, yeah, it's not perfect, dude. It's never been perfect. You know what I mean? So we get a little recency bias with those sort of things. And then some of us are like, they can do no wrong. It's like, no, they definitely can. And they have. The Chosen One, what's up? Says with a $10 hello. Loved the Eternals. Now in my top 5 MCU movies. Didn't catch this detail within the movie, but do you think Sprite retains her powers after being transformed in the end? That's actually a really interesting question. There's no indication of what's happening with that character as far as her powers are concerned at the end of the movie. However, especially with, and if you haven't seen the video I dropped it over the weekend. It's a video about my theory about Thanos, Star Fox, and some other stuff going on in the lore of the MCU and like what's happening here, because I don't think all Eternals were created equal. That's all I'll say about that. And it is possible that Alars did something to perhaps his children. So, what's going on with Sprite? I don't know, man. She could still have her powers. Maybe the powers are diminished. Here's another question for you. How freaking strong is Cersei, dude? You know what I mean? Like, how strong is Cersei? And, like, how strong can Eternals be? What's the deal with Black Widow, or with Scarlet Witch? Let me just say another thing here. Y'all remember what the Darkhold says about the Scarlet Witch? It says the Scarlet Witch is not born. She is forged. Forged. World Forge. Eternals. Transmutation. I mean, let's just kind of think that through. It's pretty interesting, man. My theory is still intact. So, Candle, what's up, brother? Says with a $5 holler, says, did we stop the Thor franchise after the Dark World, which I liked, or end Iron Man's importance after Iron Man 3? The Eternals will be fine with tweaks. Take my money. Brother, I understand. I completely agree. It's not like this isn't, we're not going to stop the whole ship now. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really affect the wider tellings and goings on of the MCU. And in fact, a lot of the lore and the recontextualization done in this movie, it's only the beginning of it. I think there's even more to be told. You know, Kang is interesting. The TVA is interesting. Nexus of Time, Immortus, Scarlet Witch, Beyonders, Celestials, Galactus. There's still so much we have to try to figure out how to piece together. The Eternals movie is just a piece of that. You know, it's just like a little piece of that, really, when you think about it. So, no, I think we'll be fine, man. Nothing. It's like they say in, it's like Walter says in The Big Lebowski. Nothing is fucked here, dude. You know? So we Gucci. Pretty Nikki says with a $5 house, I love this community so much. We go hard for this nerdy-ish. Can't wait for Disney Day on Friday. Josh, take my money. Thank you so much, Nikki. Appreciate the support and you always being here in the tower. Always good to see you. Yeah, Friday's going to be nuts. I'm giddy as a schoolgirl. It's going to be exciting. Big freaking day for Star Wars fans. Big freaking day for Marvel fans. Big freaking day for Pixar fans. A big day. If you like some of this Disney IP, it's going to be a big day. So I'm super hyped up. I can't wait to share it with you guys. It's going to be fun. Mike House with a $5 hello says, question. Eternals begs the question to the fact that if Celestials seeded Earth, slightly spoilery here, then what was Ego doing? Eternals and Guardians of the Galaxy cause a major plot hole. I think there's something to that. I don't think it's a plot hole. I think it's an incomplete picture. I also think that Arishem may not be telling the truth even when he info dumps on Cersei in the middle of the movie. Why do we think that this guy who lied to them a lot would tell the full truth in that moment? Do you know what I'm saying? So I think there's something else going on there. And I think that bigger explanations are coming. You know who else? You know what I just thought of too? What if Star Fox is in Thor 4? You know what I mean? That could be really interesting. But no, Mike, I feel you, dog. I do feel you. It's an interesting situation. Kendall follows up with a $2 holler. Says, hope we get She-Hulk and Moon Knight looks. Me too, man. She-Hulk sounds nuts. And Moon Knight also equally as nuts. So I'm quite excited. And we're just a couple of weeks away from a double episode drop of the Hawkeye show. Damn. We're the nerdy-ish does not stop. It does not stop. And so we've got a lot of fun stuff on the way for sure. Monarch says with a $5 hello, says, I'm crazy excited for Friday, hoping we get first looks at Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Andor, and Kenobi. Hyped. Take my money. Thank you so much, Monarch. I appreciate that. I think we will get a lot of those. Hoping we get all of them. And the inquisitive among you may notice the first reveal of a certain kind of character that uses a red lightsaber on Friday. Wouldn't that be exciting? Jack Farmer with a $5 holler says, moment of silence for all the multiversal Uncle Bens that got clapped. Yeah. Damn. That's sad. I wonder if Tobey Maguire will say to Tom Holland in Spider-Man No Way Home, how did your Uncle Ben die? It's so sad. It's just so damn sad. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Anthony says, the $5 holla, the end credit appearance of a certain Eternal is a direct connection to the X-Men. Huh? Why is that? I mean, to be fair, I don't have a full understanding of that character, but I just did a shit ton of research on him this weekend. I didn't hear any of that. I don't know. I don't know about that, Anthony. The X-Men is touching a lot of different things in the comics, for sure. So, I don't know. Somebody help me out. Explain that either in the chat or hit me up on the Discord about it. I appreciate it, Anthony, and I will look into it. So, yeah, perhaps he has messed around with them mutants before. Yeah. Orange Grove 55 with a $5 holla says, Marvel openings are always good. Second weekend will take a huge drop due to mixed reception. So, mixed reception will be a part of it, but it's hard to say. All the Marvel movies have had a huge drop, dude. All of them. So some of it's just, this is the world now. You know what I mean? So, but you start to add those factors up. Obviously, if it has a like wildly massive drop, and again, I do think if this thing closes out close to 300 million, that is a big disappointment. Is it a disappointment that doesn't have all sorts of explanations and baked in reasons? And look, at the end of the day, it's like they can actually use some of this stuff to cushion the blow. I don't think it's going to go down as being like this horrible thing, but we'll keep an eye on it. You know what I mean? That's the best I can give you on that. Michael Smith says with a $5 holla says the lowest rated MCU movie critically, inspired by Zack Snyder. Coincidence? How dare you? How dare you, Michael? Damn, dog. I don't even know what to say about that. Now I'm like sad. I'm depressed. And all I gotta say is Zack Snyder's the blueprint. If she had stuck more with Zack Snyder's blueprint, maybe the movie would have been more of a success. So shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Monarch says with a $5 holla says Daniel RPK just said on Twitter that the No Way Home trailer is getting closer. I've been saying the 15th to the 16th for weeks now. What do you think? That sounds right. That sounds right. Sounds good to me. And yeah, I think it gets closer each day. You know, I know some people were like, there's not even going to be a second trailer. I was like, bitch, what? And also, that poster, just being real, like, that poster ain't it, fam. You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion. Like, that poster's like, okay. You know what I mean? So. Oh, you know what? Let me look at this. Smokey Kenobi, member for 2 months, says Salma signing on for multiple movies. How would she come back? Keep a blue badge hanging out in my backside, only on the left side. Yeah, that's the nerd side. My man. Due to spoilers, I can't answer your question, but it could be the World Forge, could be all sorts of things going on. You know what I mean? Low Lives, member for 2 months, says first month. Get anything from The Simpsons drop yesterday? When does the VV drop the Batnips NFT? Woo-wee! Can't wait for Batnips, baby. I did not get a drop yesterday. It was a big old mess. I'm hoping to get the hat today. I know people like Elsa. Oh, was he in the Starjammers? Is that what people are saying? Okay. So regardless, man, like, the VV drop today, I think it's going to be juicy for sure. I'd like to get in on it, but it was like crazy. I will tell you this. I flipped my what's her name? Athena. I grabbed up Athena from the blind box on Saturday, and I flipped my Athena for sure. Sorry to all you Athena fans, but I was like, nah, man, it's hot right now. These Disney NFTs this week, oh, yeah, they're going to be flipping hot, bro. If you get that Mickey Mouse hat later today, whew, that's going to be a nice flip. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying to get in on that later today. For sure. What's going on in the chat? What's going on in the chat? What are you guys saying? What are you guys saying in the chat? I keep going from 4 to 6 out of 10 for the Eternals. I think that's fair, man. Like, look, I definitely can't tell people that, like, a lot of people are like, bro, it wasn't good. I can't sit there and be like, I think you're crazy. Because although I like the movie, I see all kinds of problems with it. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard. I went to film school. I don't know if you ever heard that. So, yeah, it's what it is. You know, it's what it is. Yeah, Elisa says, I seriously feel like it's a multiple take movie. I want to watch it again for sure. Like, I think you can get a lot out of it absorbed the second or third time for sure. Dude, there's so much movie going on. William, Will Kenobi Warrington, member for 9 months. Thank you so much for the support. So, what? We are going to get a Star Jammers lead in from Havoc to the X-Men. So what are we going to get Starjammers lead in for the Havoc to the X-Men? I'm not sure. I don't know if we're getting the old Starjammers in the MCU. I mean, we could. I don't know that that's going to be the case for sure. You know, it's funny because some people were saying that Icarus plays like a great Cyclops from the comics. He plays really a lot more like Scotty from the comics, which is interesting. So, yeah. Sound like my theater was awful. Want to see it again? Oh, the sound in your theater was awful? Dude, that's horrible. I thought the sound was great in this movie. Darth Dever, I probably missed a bunch of members' chats, bro. They don't pop up on the super chat place that I go to check out the super chats, so I apologize. All I would say is you probably want to save those for, like, the end of the stream, because when I'm going through super chats, I can't really... Can you just put it into the chat, Dever, or whatever you were saying? Star Fox was a Star Jammer. That's pretty cool. That Spidey NFT I bought has doubled, and I snatched a Groot today. Oh, nice, man. I'm glad. And, Mike, I'll send out your Groot with your Ahsoka pop, actually. Because Andre got the Ahsoka pop, but he gave it to you, right? Maybe I should change the place that I look at Super Chats. Yeah. Maybe I should. Maybe YouTube should give me access to all that shit in a better format. You know what I mean? Apologize to me. You missed mine. Sonny, what are you talking about? You're not even a member. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let me look at the chats. Did I miss your Super Chat? Nope. I didn't miss shit. Sonny. My local theaters haven't been using the surround sound? What? For real? Damn. Ooh, nice, Austin. That is pretty cool. Why you apologize to him but not me? How come you apologize to him but not me? Yo, Jason, I'm sorry, bro. Did I miss your shit? Any announcement on the new shows, Disney Plus Day, you think? Yeah, I think so. I think we get some new announcements. I think that would be fun. Yeah. Really? Man, it's a shame, man. These theaters really need to step up their game, bruh. You know what I mean? All good, all good. Hey, something popped up. C-Dub! How do I feel about... 17 months. My man. How do I feel about Eternal/Marvel referencing Batman and Superman? I mean, I think it's cool. There's also Star Wars in that movie. Empire Strikes Back is on in one of the scenes. And they have that Star Wars book at Fasto's house. So, yeah, that's, that's cool. It's cool. Any news on who got the Jar Jar plush? Let me check it out. Oh my god, Elisa got the Jar Jar plush. Hilarious. I guess I'll be able to save on the shipping there. She's allowed. Everybody calm down. Jeez. My Regal 4D showing was great. That's cool, man. Darth Devers comment right here. Where? I was just saying it's been a great 7 months. This community is the best on the planet. And also, why the fuck was Zurus not in Eternals? He's like their Odin. Yeah, I have some theories on that. And first of all, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. 7 months as support. Very, very cool. I think it's possible there's a sect of Eternals out there that are not under the control of any Celestial. And I think that we might have been seeing like some of the Eternals that are still within that loop. And I think there's other Eternals that are out of that loop. So that's where I think the post-credit scene is getting at. And that's what I think the future is going to be with them. So it's possible those characters are still out there. Yeah. True. All right, everybody. I'm going to get on out of here. I've got a dope Star Wars video and a dope Black Panther 2 video planned for you guys today. The Star Wars video is wild. If it is real, it is a huge story. A wild shift in Lucasfilm's plans. So look out for that video. I'm going to record it in just a little bit here. And then Black Panther 2. Crazy stuff, guys. Absolutely crazy stuff. So look out for that video as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the love today. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Holy crap, Finto. I hope that rumor's true. Thanks for the love. Did everybody leave? Is everybody gone? Much love. Just want to say, man, this is going to be a fun week. felt like it was a good stream to start it off with. And man, oh man, it's gonna get juicy. Friday's gonna be nuts, man. We'll be streaming. We'll be streaming a lot. Trev says, no, we're still here talking about how great you are. That's really sweet, Trev. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Trev, I'm dropping the DC toys tomorrow, but, you're in Canada, so. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, man. Just so much love for me in the chat right now. I just can't handle how much love there is. Thank you. And also,